Godzillasaurus, one of the most aggressive monsters ever, ripping through towers, picking up planes, and chomping down and throwing humans into the horizon. Whether it's gun, fire, or a nuke, you're not taking this thing down. And the Death Angel. Despite having angel in its name, these beasts are more in tune with something straight out of hell. These aliens were able to withstand their own planet being destroyed, atmospheric re-entry, and slamming into the ground at over 17,500 miles per hour. Hello everybody, it's your host Godzillaguyy, and today we have the bloodiest matchup yet. Going off script, I am sick, so if I sound congested or anything, thank you GFest for giving me COVID. Today we will ask, Godzilla -1's Godzillasaurus versus A Quiet Place's Death Angel. Who would win? So before we start, I need to address a few things. Firstly, hello to any horror fans watching. I'm Godzillaguyy, and you probably haven't seen me before, as well, my content mostly revolves around, well, take a guess. But yeah, to any horror fans watching, if you end up liking this video, then leave a comment or subscribe, so I can see you want to see more videos like this. But with that being said, hold me accountable, horror fans. If I missed something, let me know. Now to the Godzilla fans. Hello again. Now, there's one thing we need to go over, or else this fight would just kind of be unfair. That being Godzillasaurus' regen, where he pretty much just can't die. Now, look, from a film point of view, sure, Goji can do whatever he wants. But realistically, you can't just have infinite regeneration, as that requires infinite material. So if you're gonna argue that he can keep regenerating, then you're saying Godzilla has more material inside his own body than the universe itself. But we will still say he can regen. But to keep it reasonable, we'll say he can only fully regenerate his body like 4 to 5 times, before he, just runs out of material to regen. So, with all that being said, what categories will they be fighting for? Well, they'll be fighting for strength, speed, durability, IQ, battle IQ, agility, and abilities. So, with all that being covered, let's dive in. Starting with strength, and starting with our home player, Godzillasaurus. Now, he has shown that he's able to throw humans with ease. The average Japanese man weighs around 137 pounds, and he's able to pick them up and throw them extremely far. He was also able to tear through a watchtower with ease, and break it apart with his sheer size. He also, with a single tail swipe, was able to destroy the Odo Island command base. But of course his most notable feat is when he lifts and throws Shikishima's plane, that being the Mitsubishi A6M0. Said A6M0 comes in at just over 3 tons. Now onto the Death Angel. They of course have simple feats like throwing humans, knocking dumpsters aside, or how just by running able to tear through a metal silo wall. But onto their better feats, like how just from running into a police car, they're able to knock it over and send it into the air. Now the type of police car is never stated, but it seems to be based on a Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, which comes in at 3,781 pounds. But trust me, it doesn't stop there. We also see in part 2, off screen, one was able to tear through a train wall with ease, but their best feat comes from day 1. So here's your spoiler warning. Also, I'm not gonna have any footage on screen, so just get used to little Godzillaguyy in the paper background. Firstly, how one was able to knock over an ambulance. The average ambulance weighing 9,000 to 14,000 pounds, which is anywhere from 4.5 to 7 tons. And remember, that's just by running into it. Another great feat is when one seemingly throws some type of sedan, and the average sedan weighs 3,600 pounds. And shout out to KATM, but given they threw said sedan about 20 feet into the air and 100 feet away, in the span of about 2 seconds, that means the Death Angel is outputting forces of about 3 tons, which would further support the 4.5 to 7 tons calc with, the ambulance just a second ago. But their best feat comes from how they're able to tear up a tank and Humvees. Now, while none were flipped over, so therefore it's not implying they can lift it, being able to damage it to the amount they did is still a crazy feat. So, when it comes to strength, even though Godzillasaurus is many times larger, the Death Angel steals this category. Next up is speed. Now, this one I don't really think we need to go in depth on. Godzillasaurus doesn't have any stated running speed. I mean, if you really want to wank him, you could say he gets like 15 miles an hour, but that's really about it. Well, the Death Angels can reach speeds of 300 miles an hour, so yeah. So with ease, the winner of speed goes to the Death Angel. Now into durability. Now the Death Angels are hard to say, but we can still give it a go. Now at the bare minimum, they can tank nukes. As we see in A Quiet Place, we see a newspaper clipping that says how the military tried everything they could. Now, while it's extreme, for the sake of humanity, it's pretty reasonable to assume they threw 1 or 2 nukes at them. Next, how they can handle their own planet exploding with no issue. As stated by the director of Day 1, the Death Angels' planets blew up, and the Death Angels just literally rode it out until they landed on Earth. But their best feat again comes from Day 1. As seen when the Death Angels are landing on Earth, while some land on fragments of their planet, some just tank the fall. Firstly, meaning they survive re-entry, which, thanks to their weight and finding their terminal velocity, that means they can tank heats upwards of 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Or for those who don't use Freedom per Eagle units, 1,650 degrees Celsius. But the best part is, like how I said, they tank the fall. So finding the average speed of their re-entry, and find how hard they'd be hitting the ground. And given they were able to go around 40 feet into the ground when they finally hit the ground, these guys get this. In fact, here, come close. This is crazy. These guys, on average, can handle the force of 1.36 million tons of TNT. Or to simplify, 1.36 teratons of force. That is 68 times stronger than the nuke that Godzillasaurus takes. And with that being said, let's move on to the big lizard. And yeah, it's not close. Sure, Godzillasaurus takes it, but he barely does so. In the novel, it goes more in depth on the scene, and explains how the explosion pretty much eviscerated Godzilla. It was only thanks to his speedy regen that kept him alive. But, as I said, the Death Angels are still hard to say. As while their outer skin is super durable, their inner... they're pretty weak. One literally dying from a metal pole. But, given Godzillasaurus' roar doesn't roar at their frequency, the winner for durability goes to the Death Angel. Now into IQ. I mean, neither of them really show too much. Godzillasaurus acts on instinct and animal behaviors. Now, the Death Angels are better off, being able to use their keen senses of hearing to find prey, and as seen in Day 1, they have a sort of hierarchy, as they take orders from their queen. So I'm gonna lean towards the Death Angel, but you could say neither because they're, not that smart. Next up is Battle IQ. Now this one is also tough. I mean, the Death Angels are able to take on humans, tanks, and, Humvees, but that's really all we know for now. While Godzillasaurus apparently lived with the dinosaurs. Now, how many were on the secluded island of Odo Island, or in the waters around it, who knows? But given it did so well as the only dinosaur left, yeah, Battle IQ is gonna have to go to Godzillasaurus. Now, onto agility. Yeah, alright, Death Angels, moving on. And now, onto their abilities. Starting with the Death Angel, they possess a wide range of abilities, including echolocation, biosonar, technology manipulation, and they're able to handle extreme temperatures, such as tanking nuclear bombs, and surviving in the void of space. Now into -1. He has regeneration and contamination. So while it seems that the Death Angel should win this, their abilities are kind of useless against Godzillasaurus, so his regen's going to be carrying him for this category. So the winner for abilities is Godzillasaurus. So, with all our points in play, we have a score of 5-2. The Death Angels take strength, speed, durability, IQ, and agility, and Godzillasaurus takes battle IQ and abilities. So, yeah. I think it's pretty clear the winners are Death Angels. Don't get me wrong, they'll have a hard time destroying -1 enough times to the point where he can't regen. But it's just -1 literally can't even touch the thing. And let's say somehow he does land a hit, is not going to do anything to the Death Angel. And before you type away saying, oh, his roar, the sound weakness with the Death Angels is the frequency, not the volume. So, yeah, the Death Angels, despite being a fraction of the size, win with, low difficulty. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Howdy, everybody. This is Editing Godzillaguyy here, popping in real quick before the video is over. Massive shout out to Aiden Wingen, I really hope I'm saying the name right, Films. He's a good friend of mine, and you guys have probably seen the stop motions. But he has done all the cool stop motion B-roll you've seen throughout this video, just because using -1 footage is risky. Also, I want to add in, before people ask, this is one Death Angel versus Godzillasaurus, not a swarm. Just, it only takes one. So, thank you, Aiden. And of course, thank you, Valerie and Kevin for the thumbnail. And, yeah, continue. And if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe. But, as always, keep collecting. Godzillaguyy out. See ya.